Your Honor, the Constitution of Kenya 2010 remains a focal point on the rights of every person in any criminal proceeding. Your Honor, this Constitution is an outcome of a liberation struggle for many years. And the issue regarding to the rights are extremely fundamental before a court of law renders its decision. Why am I saying this, Your Honor? Your Honor, Article 49 1H is a critical article when a court bears the weight to issue any ruling on a bail application. Your Honor, your learned sister, Honorable Kavetsa, in the very celebrated case of Republic versus Sergeant Ahmed Rashid Abdullahi, made a fundamental ruling on where the victims come into play. In fact, if I'm to interpret this literally, paragraph 18 of that ruling, your learned sister says, in a criminal trial, it's always a three-legged jigsaw. If one is removed, then this trial is as half as not done. That is the victim, that is the accused, or the suspects, and the prosecution. This is very fundamental for this court to jot down today. Your Honor, my learned senior, Mr. Cliff, who is representing the second respondent, has tremendous experience in criminal litigation. We will agree in this court today, the most grave offense that anyone can be suspected of is the offense of murder. And our courts have not shied away from addressing this jurisprudence. If I kindly direct you to this authority, that is the case of Michael Juma Oyamo versus Republic. This is a Court of Appeal decision. They analyze the wording of Article 49 1H. What is the meaning of compelling reasons? That is the fundamental question we are posing to this court today on behalf of the family of the deceased. This family, as we speak today, on 12th December, they buried a son. They buried a nephew to someone. They buried an uncle. They buried a sibling, a brother in that family. So as we speak, Your Honor, compelling reasons are not issues of flimsy grounds. They are one that to be taken into key consideration by any court of law. We have revelations from the IO that there are passports that have been confiscated. And that my instructions are only on the second respondent, that is Miss Lillian, to oppose the bail application. Why am I saying so? We need stringent measures to ensure that this trial achieve the highest authenticity in terms of how we protect the other rights of the victim within these proceedings. So in that celebrated case, the Court of Appeal, as it reiterated again in the Republic versus Danson Mbunya and another, where Justice Muhammad Ibrahim, as he then was, in fact, this was a month after the promulgation of the new constitution. the seriousness of the offense of murder, even though they remain suspects. But that is the opening investigation remark that was made by the IO in his application dated 1st December 2025. The one I'm urging this honorable court, in the case that it finds favor for the suspect, the second respondent, that is Lillian, Miss Lillian, then you bring aboard stringent measures to ensure there is no conflict, there is no absolute interference, so that the state can visibly arrive at the conclusion in the full trial. Your Honor, I'm ceding ground just 3 minutes. 3 minutes allow us to my learned colleague, Mr. Shaban, to conclude our submission. I thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. Shaban, I'm on record for the victims, together with Mr. Nasir. Your Honor, just to reiterate what Mr. Nasir has said, mine will be a brief statement that should the courts be inclined to grant the application by our senior Mr. Ombeta, then I would emphasize that there should be stringent measures on matters of the bail. Number one, whereby the High Court and other courts have guided us in the kind of measures which are put to strictly emphasize that justice will not only be dispensed, but that the victim's family will eventually have a right to what they are currently pursuing on behalf of the deceased. And that is number one. From what I've read from the application is that their passport and that the second respondent is a dual citizen. Then, if that's the case, she should hand over both passports. Number two, on the amount which the court is going to state, then the said amount should be high to protect the victim's family. And number three, to regularly report to the police station so that we can ensure that the terms have been complied. That is all I wish to submit, Your Honor. Thank you.